Broken up with boyfriend. I didn't dare to feel any emotion or cry out loud while sitting in my husband's car. I didn't dare tell my parents when I was in love before, and now I don't dare tell my husband when I'm in love. It will be a regret for the rest of your life. Although Marcus and I are husband and wife, he only goes home with me for dinner on our parents' birthdays every year. Today is my dad's birthday, and when Marcus came to pick me up, I had just had an unpleasant argument with someone on the phone. But after seeing him, I put my emotions under control and got into the car. I thought that I was going home to meet my parents today, and if I showed a bad relationship with him, my parents would be worried. So I took the initiative to talk to him several times, trying to ease the relationship. But Marcus either pretended not to hear or responded perfunctorily. Finally, I lost my patience and just shut up. My boyfriend told me on the phone that he wanted to break up before we got in the car, and I was already in a bad mood. Now I encounter Marcus' attitude again. I became even more irritated. I almost cried several times because of my emotions. In the end, I held it back. I couldn't hold back my tears and accidentally fell out, and I could only turn away and wipe them away secretly. While Marcus was wiping his tears against the car window, his cell phone suddenly rang. It was his girlfriend outside who called. Marcus didn't shy away from answering the call right in front of me. His girlfriend's coquettish voice came from the phone. "Honey, my hand is injured and bleeding a lot. Can you come and stay with me?" Marcus frowned and said in a cold voice, "I have something to do today. Go to the hospital by yourself." "Mr. Guang, I beg you, please come and see me. I will really die if you don't come." "I was wrong last night, husband. I apologize to you. Please come and see me." She became more and more excited as she spoke, and her voice was filled with tears. But Marcus remained unmoved. Perhaps Marcus noticed that I was eavesdropping. He turned his head and gave me a cold look. I quickly looked out the window and pretended I didn't hear it. The next moment, Marcus agreed. "Wait for me downstairs." After saying that, he hung up the phone and turned the car around. I reminded him in disbelief, "Marcus, today is my dad's birthday. Don't go too far. Let's go check it out first. There's still time." I sneered and leaned back in my chair without saying anything else. Because it's no use saying it. Once he makes a decision, he will never change it just because of a few words from me. I tolerated his messing around before. At least he didn't make it public or in front of my parents. Now he's not going to show me any mercy. "Find an intersection to drop me off. I'll take a taxi back by myself," I said coldly. Marcus pretended not to hear and drove straight to the downstairs of his girlfriend's house. When I got off the car and saw the wound on his girlfriend's hand that was almost healed, I almost laughed out of anger. It is no exaggeration to say that the injuries I get from cutting my own nails at home are more serious than hers. But Marcus still left me in the car and went to the drugstore with his girlfriend to buy a Band-Aid. I watched him patiently bandage his girlfriend. He also reminded her considerately, "Don't get wet when you get home. Send me whatever you want to eat. I'll order it and have someone send it to you." Marcus really doesn't care about me at all, as he is being affectionate with another woman in front of me, his wife. "Are you done yet?" I glanced at my watch and urged impatiently. Marcus didn't say anything, but his girlfriend spoke up. "Guang, I'm sorry, Sister Chin, I took up your time. Mr. Zhou was worried about me, so he came over as soon as he heard that I was injured." Sister Chin, don't blame him. Apparently, she didn't know that Marcus had put her on speakerphone when he answered the phone. "You know me?" She nodded. "I was interning at Zhou's company before, and I heard about you from my colleagues." The girl looked young, probably having just graduated from college, and there was a hint of stupidity on her face. The methods he used were childish and ridiculous, and were nothing compared to the ones Marcus had used before. I smiled a little. "Oh, it's okay. Kindly remind her, if he was really worried about you, he wouldn't have brought me here today. Only Marcus would take his wife to meet his lover outside." I asked Marcus after getting in the car. "This girl is pretty good, young and fresh. Why do you want to break up with her?" In the rearview mirror, the little girl was still standing there, and it seemed that she was crying. Marcus looked nonchalant. He sneered. "Too clingy, and she doesn't want my money." If a young girl follows a married woman without asking for money, it means she wants love. Marcus is very rich, and he is never stingy with the women outside. When we were together, he gave me a house and a car, but he didn't give me love. Not only is he like this to them, he is also like this to me. "So you brought me there on purpose just now, planning to use me to dump her?" I glanced at Marcus and said nothing. Marcus didn't intend to continue talking about this topic with me. He asked me instead, "When are you going to take me to meet your girlfriend?" Seeing that I didn't say anything, he said again, "Guang, you don't have to hide it from me. I have known for a long time that you have someone outside. Bring it out for everyone to have some tea sometime. You know I wouldn't mind." Marcus really didn't care if I had someone out there. But I still didn't dare let him know. Because the one I kept outside is his best brother. Marcus and I went from school uniforms to wedding dresses. Our two families were well matched and close friends, and we were once a loving couple that everyone envied. It wasn't until the woman he kept outside showed up that I realized he was cheating. At that moment, I felt like the sky was falling. I made a scene with him and forced him to break up with the woman outside. Marcus really cut off ties with that person completely and even drove him out of Shanghai. But within a few days he found a new one outside. I continued to make trouble and continued to threaten to commit suicide. Marcus sent them away one by one, and then looked for them again one by one. Several years passed like this. Later on, I didn't know whether he felt annoyed or was reluctant to part with the one he had kept outside. He told me, "Sienna, we have been together for 8 years and we know each other too well. I even know exactly how you react when I touch you and how loud the sound is. Days like this are pretty boring. Why don't we try to live a freer life? You play yours, I play mine. As long as we don't get divorced, neither of us should interfere with each other." I didn't accept his proposal and Marcus didn't say much. He still keeps a lover outside like before, but he no longer avoids me. He even brought people home when I was away. The most serious fight between Marcus and I was when I came back early from a business trip and caught him in my bed with another woman. I pushed them out like crazy. Get out, get out. Marcus called me a bitch. Sienna, no man would like you like this. It was only after he drove away with the woman that I realized the cat I had raised for many years was missing. When the woman was brought home by Marcus, she was scratched by my kitten, so she threw my cat out of the upstairs. When we found it downstairs, the kitten was lying in a pool of blood, its body stiff. I called Marcus and asked him, "Marcus, that's the kitten you and I raised together. Do you have a heart?" Marcus simply replied, "I'll compensate you with one." That night he really found an identical one to give me as compensation. But I didn't want it. That same night, I met Marcus' best friend Adrian at the bar. Adrian is completely different from Marcus. He is low-key and introverted, and is recognized as a top talent in the circle. Driven by a desire for revenge, after witnessing Adrian reject his advances 13 times, I downed the wine in my glass and stepped forward with courage. "Adrian, what a coincidence." I sat down next to him naturally. He glanced at me. "Really? I don't remember what happened that night. I just know that I woke up in Adrian's villa the next day. Why am I here?" I asked Adrian. Adrian changed into a gray and white casual suit with an apron tied around his waist. It can be seen that he must exercise regularly. He has broad shoulders and a narrow waist. Just standing there is enough to arouse people's imagination. Adrian was processing the ingredients. His movements were neat and tidy. "You wanted to sleep with me last night." My face felt a little hot, and my eyes started to avoid him. After waiting for a long time and seeing that he had no intention of speaking again, I asked, "And then?" Adrian closed his eyes and looked at me. "Then you succeeded." "What does success mean?" "That's what you meant." After that, he placed the prepared breakfast in front of me. "I don't know if it suits your taste, just eat it." We didn't have any communication after that. It was not until I was about to leave that Adrian asked me again, "What are you going to do in the future?" I wondered, what should I do? He sighed and looked at me as if I were a scumbag. "Don't you need to take responsibility for what happened last night?" I thought for a while, then looked at him seriously and said, "Adrian, you know I have a husband." Adrian smiled self-deprecatingly. "Guang, why did you come to provoke me last night? You should divorce Marcus. I don't want to be a mistress." I pursed my lips. "I can't leave for now. I had a purpose when I approached him last night. So I am speaking very directly at this moment. No, you can be my boyfriend. A husband is a husband, and a boyfriend is a boyfriend. We are each our own, okay?" Adrian laughed angrily. He opened the door and asked me to leave. I thought that was the end of me and him. Unexpectedly, one night 2 months later, I suddenly received a call from a stranger. Adrian must have been drunk. His voice was a little hoarse. "Sienna, why don't you want to divorce him?" I put down the book in my hand and explained patiently, because this is not just about my marriage with him. It also involves the Chin and Zhou families. "Then what should I do?" Adrian said with a choked voice. "You provoked me first. Don't you have to be responsible for me? If you accept my proposal, I will be responsible for you." There was silence on the other end of the phone for a long time, so I didn't hang up and waited for his answer. It took a long time before I heard Adrian's resigned voice. "Okay, I accept." After that, we traveled abroad together, went to a neighboring city, and watched a movie holding hands like a normal couple. Adrian is very well behaved and almost always comes when called. He never mentioned asking me for a divorce again. Until one time I had a car accident while on a business trip. In my cell phone address book, all the notes for each person are names. The only note for Adrian was boyfriend. He secretly modified it for himself one time when he was playing with my phone. So after I had the car accident, the police contacted Adrian directly based on this note. In the hospital, a family member's signature is required. Call Marcus. My parents are old and it's not good to ask them to come so late. But when I woke up again, the first person I saw in the ward was my mother. My mother asked a few questions worriedly. After she left, I asked Adrian, "Why is my mom here?" Adrian was peeling an orange. He was very careful and tore off the orange peel and the orange segments he handed me cleanly. Guang called Marcus many times, but he didn't answer. I have no choice but to contact my aunt. Oh, I should have thought of that. Marcus thinks I'm annoying and won't answer my calls. I made a big fuss when he cheated on me before, so he has almost never answered my calls in the past few years. The ward returned to silence. After a long while, when I began to feel drowsy again, Adrian spoke again. "Sienna, divorce Marcus." I opened my eyes wide and looked at him. Adrian was different from the women Marcus kept outside. He is usually very well behaved and easy to take care of, and he hardly ever asks me to divorce him. Why are you suddenly saying this? Adrian then looked up at me. Then I realized that he was pale, had bruises under his eyes, and his eyes were red and bloodshot. It must be because he stayed up all night watching over me and didn't get enough rest. I don't want to continue being a mistress who is not allowed to be seen in public. I want to stand by your side openly and honestly. I'm afraid that if this happens again next time, I won't even be qualified to sign in your family member column, and I can only worry and call your husband again and again. I also don't want your parents to ask me who I am, and I can only say that I am your friend. But Sienna, we are not friends at all, and I don't want to be friends with you. The man who was so ruthless in the business world was now standing in front of me, crying uncontrollably. This time, I couldn't say no. But I also know that it's impossible for Marcus and I to get divorced so easily. Sienna, think it over carefully. Do you want to break up with me or divorce Marcus? I won't bother you again until you make a decision. Adrian took care of all my affairs in the hospital that day. He found a caregiver for me, arranged my daily diet, and even placed books for me to read when I was bored by my bed. But after that day, he really never appeared in front of me again. Every year on my dad's birthday, my mom would give the aunt at home a day off. She seldom cooks at ordinary times, and only on my dad's birthday will she cook for us personally and prepare a table full of our favorite dishes. Marcus was chatting with my dad in the tea room. I helped my mother in the kitchen. While eating, they suddenly started talking about the time when Marcus and I were in school. At that time, you and Marcus were secretly dating, and both of our parents found out, but you two refused to admit it even if you were beaten to death. I can't help but sigh when I think back to that time. Suddenly I feel that life is so absurd. When I was in school, I kept my relationship a secret from everyone, not even my parents. Now that I'm married and in love, I don't dare tell my husband. People spend their whole lives with regrets. As I thought about it, I wanted to laugh myself. After dinner, I washed the dishes with my mother. She suddenly asked me, "What are you thinking about? Just now you were secretly laughing at yourself at the table." I shook my head. "Nothing." "Mom, if I divorce Marcus, will you and my dad object?" My mother sighed. "Guang, there are problems in your marriage with Marcus. Your father and I have actually seen it a long time ago. Since you didn't mention divorce before, we couldn't say much." She stopped what she was doing and looked at me. "Your father and I only have you as a daughter. No matter what you want to do, as long as you have made up your mind, we will support you no matter what. It's the same with divorce. If you don't want to be together anymore, just get a divorce. Don't force yourself." My eyes suddenly felt sore and I sniffed. If I divorce him, the interests of our two families will have to be divided, and my father's company may suffer losses. My mother touched my head with her head. "It's okay, that's your father's problem to worry about. You are his daughter, and he is willing to take care of you. Susu, do whatever you want to do. Your parents will always support you." Having said that, I still can't make up my mind. Marcus and I left my parents' house at night. As the car just left my parents' neighborhood, a person suddenly rushed out on the road next to us. Luckily, Marcus stepped on the brakes in time. I was still in shock, and when I looked up I found that the person who stopped the car was the little girl from the day before. Marcus has already gotten out of the car. He stood in front of the little girl, looking angry and impatient. I don't know what harsh words he said, but the little girl started crying. For some unknown reason I rolled down the window. Just then, I heard the little girl threatening Marcus, "Either divorce or we break up." Looking at the little girl's red eyes, I suddenly thought of Adrian. I called him during the day, and he told me the same thing, either divorce or break up. I said, "Divorcing him will be very troublesome." Adrian said, "Then break up with me. Anyway, you just treat me as a dog that can be summoned and dismissed at will. Breaking up with me is so easy. It only takes a word from you, Sienna." After saying that, he hung up the phone. Thinking of this, I sighed helplessly. Marcus is different from me. He always does things cleanly and efficiently. "You want to break up? Okay, I'll have my assistant transfer the breakup fee to your card." But the little girl regretted it. "I don't want to break up with you. Can you divorce her?" "Marcus, I really love you. I don't want money. I just want you." Marcus sneered, "If I had no money, would you still want me?" The little girl nodded without hesitation. "Yes." But Marcus didn't believe it. He sneered and said, "You said it because you know I can't be poor. But if I really had no money, you wouldn't even look at me. Didn't you break up with your ex-boyfriend because he had no money?" The little girl was embarrassed and angry and slapped Marcus in the face. This slap made Marcus completely lose his patience. He pouted his cheek. "Take the money and go away. Don't bother me anymore." After saying that, he turned around. The little girl still didn't give up. She softened her attitude and held him back. "Don't go, husband. I was wrong. I won't force you to divorce me, okay? Please don't leave me." Marcus closed his eyes and squeezed out a word from between his teeth. "Get lost." I am Marcus' wife, so I should be happy that he dumped his mistress. But at this moment my heart was chilled to the core. Marcus is like this. When he is nice to you, he can say all kinds of sweet words to you. Just like when he was pursuing me, he made all kinds of promises and pledges of eternal love with ease. I also imagine living happily with him for the rest of my life. But love does not exist for Marcus. He may say he loves you today, but he will tell someone else about his love tomorrow. To put it bluntly, he is selfish. He loves no one but himself. The thought of spending your whole life as a couple with such a person is sad and scary. So after Marcus got in the car, I seriously filed for divorce for the first time. What are you making trouble for? I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I looked at him. Marcus, let's get a divorce. There has to be a reason, right? Because of that woman just now? I shook my head. Guang, that's not the case. The main thing is that the guy I kept outside also wanted me to divorce him. He said he wanted to divorce me, otherwise he would break up with me. Marcus's face was calm. Then break it off and find another one. I rolled my eyes at him. Marcus, I'm different from you. I like him very much and don't want to break up, so we are getting divorced. He thought it was ridiculous that I wanted to get a divorce because of a man. Guang Sienna, don't be so childish. Just keep her out there for fun. Do you know how much interest will be involved in our divorce? Both Zhou and Qin's companies will be shaken up. At the very least, they will lose hundreds of millions. Marcus lit a cigarette. I don't like the smell of cigarettes, but he knows it but doesn't care about my feelings. Sienna, if he's causing trouble for you, can't you just give him some money and solve the problem? If this is your first time, and you don't know how to handle this kind of thing, I don't mind helping you. No, he doesn't need money, and I can't bear to part with him. Marcus was silent. Are you interested? I nodded. Guang. Yeah. It is very troublesome to divide the property between us, but we have to take this step. If you're busy, I'll contact a lawyer to handle it. I'll draft the documents and you can read them and ask questions. How about that? Marcus didn't answer, but asked me, who are you keeping outside? I don't know if he has noticed anything. This has nothing to do with you. It was you who said that we should just play our own games and not interfere with each other. After saying that, I unbuckled my seatbelt and got out of the car. I'll take a taxi back myself. I'll contact you when the documents are ready. Just as he finished speaking, a car behind him suddenly turned on its high beam. When I turned around, I saw Adrian getting out of the car and walking towards me. He glanced at Marcus and naturally took the bag from me. Is what you just said in the text message true? I nodded. Just now after I made up my mind, I sent him a message. I just didn't expect him to come directly over. Marcus looked at Adrian, then at me. Don't fucking tell me that the guy you're keeping out there is Adrian. I didn't say yes, nor did I say no. He just said to Adrian, let's go. Marcus rushed out of the car and blocked our way. Sienna, tell me the fuck. Is the person you're keeping outside Adrian? I frowned. Does it matter who it is? It's important. Marcus yelled at me. I'm not looking for your fucking bestie. Marcus, the reason you didn't look for my best friend isn't because you, Marcus, are such an upright person, but because my best friend simply can't stand you. Get out of the way. Marcus didn't move. He took a step forward and grabbed Adrian by the collar. I fucking thought you were my best friend, and you were actually cheating on my wife behind my back? Adrian tilted his head slightly, his expression cold. He pushed Marcus away. If she wasn't your wife, do you think you could marry me? Take my business away from me? If it weren't for Sienna, do you think I would be willing to be your brother? Marcus wasn't the only one who remained silent. I was silent too. In the car, I asked Adrian, what did you mean by that? Adrian glanced at me, literally meaning. I mean, did we know each other before? Adrian's expression was a little unreadable. Just when I thought he wouldn't answer, I heard him say, we were classmates for 3 years in junior high school, and I also went to the affiliated high school for high school. After hearing this, I recalled it carefully. But in my memory, Adrian never seemed to appear during my student days. Arrive. I opened the car door and got out. When I was about to leave, Adrian stopped me and said, Sienna, when are we going to get divorced? I'll have my lawyer handle the property issues tomorrow, and then talk to Marcus. His eyes lit up, and a smile appeared on the corner of his lips. Are you sure? Yes. Adrian put one hand on the steering wheel. What if Marcus doesn't agree to a divorce? I said, he'll agree. Adrian suddenly got out of the car and ran towards me. He held me in his arms and kissed my forehead. Guang Sienna, the education I received did not allow me to interfere in other people's marriages. After Guang returned to China, I heard that you got married. Actually, I didn't want to bother you at first. But later, I saw your husband cheating on you and you crying alone. My heart was broken. I don't like Marcus's behavior. When my friend introduced him to me, I wanted to refuse, but when I thought about the fact that he's your husband, I inexplicably agreed to work with him. Later, I saw you drinking alone in the bar, and I wanted to talk to you several times, asking you to divorce him and stop hurting yourself. But what position do I have? We are not even friends. In your heart, I may just be your husband's partner, nothing more. Guang, I didn't expect that you would come to me on your own initiative. You don't know how happy I was at that moment. Actually, nothing happened between us that night. I lied to you. I'm just afraid that you will just leave, and then we will become two completely unrelated strangers. You said you didn't want to get a divorce and wanted me to be your boyfriend. After you left that day, I cried alone for a long time. I felt like you were humiliating me. After crying, I told myself that since you don't want a divorce, then let's break up completely. But when I drank, all I could think about was you. I slapped myself to stop thinking about you, but I couldn't help it. In the end, I called you and told you that I was willing to be your mistress. I stood there and let Adrian hold me. I listened to him talking to me with tears in his eyes. My heart suddenly felt uncomfortable and painful. I patted Adrian on the back. You are not a mistress. Isn't it said that those who are not loved are mistresses? You are not. Adrian buried his head in the crook of my neck. Sienna, I have lost my moral principles. I have lost my self-respect. I have lost everything. You are all I have. I felt warmth and moisture on my neck. I was a little at a loss. Adrian started crying again. He hugged me tighter. Sienna, don't lie to me. Don't bully me. Marcus approached me several times over the next few days. I knew the purpose of his visit, so I declined. It was not until the lawyer had sorted out the information that I went to his company in person with the documents. The receptionist recognized me and said, Sister Chin, Mr. Zhou is meeting a client in the conference room. I'll take you to his office to wait. No thanks, I'll go by myself. She still enthusiastically helped me press the elevator. Take the elevator to the top floor. When I was about to go to Marcus' office to wait for him, I was stopped at the door. Guang, who are you? Didn't you see the words President's Office written outside? Do you think this is a market and you can just go in whenever you want? It's a strange face. I lowered my eyes to look at the name tag hanging around her neck, which read, Assistant to the President. It turned out to be Marcus' new assistant. No wonder he was in a hurry to dump that girl. It seems he has found a new love. Her voice was quite loud and some people started looking over here. An old employee recognized me and quickly came over to pull up the young assistant. I'm sorry, Sister Guangqin. She is new here and doesn't know you. Are you here to see Mr. Zhou? He is in the conference room. Please wait a moment. I nodded. Go straight into the office and wait for Marcus. The assistant was still dissatisfied. Who is she? Why did you let her into Mr. Zhou's office? Sister Chin is Mr. Zhou's wife. Please stop talking. What are you afraid of? The assistant glanced at me through the crack in the door and deliberately raised his voice. Everyone knows that Mr. Zhou and his wife have a broken relationship. Will Mr. Zhou blame me because of her? I smiled. I thought to myself that since I was going to divorce Marcus anyway, there was no need to argue with her. Marcus came in a moment later. I've looked for you several times recently, but you always said you didn't have time. How come you're free to come over now? His tone was warm, as if we were really just an ordinary couple. I didn't bother to beat around the bush and directly put the divorce agreement and property division documents in front of him. Just as I was about to speak, the assistant came in with coffee. Mr. Zhou, your coffee. There were clearly two people in the office, but she deliberately only brought in one cup. Marcus frowned unhappily and handed the coffee to me. You used to like drinking this, try it and see if it still tastes the same. Before I could say anything, the assistant brought the coffee back to Marcus. She bit her lip and said aggrievedly, Boss Zhou, this is specially prepared for you. After that, he turned around and asked me, what would you like to drink, Miss Chin? I smiled politely and said, no need, just a few words, and I'll leave after I'm done. Can you please leave now? I have something to discuss with your CEO, Zhou. The young assistant is young and beautiful, but she has no tact and no emotional intelligence. It goes without saying what it takes to become the president's assistant. She glared at me and still refused to leave. Until Marcus spoke up, didn't you hear me telling you to get out? The young assistant left with red eyes. Marcus explained awkwardly, she's not like this usually. I only want her to stay with me because she's very capable. I don't know what's wrong with her brain today. Maybe they think of me as an imaginary enemy. Marcus's hand on the document paused. If you don't like it, I'll have HR deal with her later. No need. I looked at him. It doesn't matter whether I like it or not. We are getting divorced anyway. I spread out the divorce papers. This is a property division document. If you are not satisfied with any of the points, you can raise them. All the properties you purchased after marriage are yours. I have already had the ownership of the villas your parents gave me transferred. They're all yours. Marcus didn't look at the file. Instead, she asked me, do we really have to get a divorce? Yes. He leaned back in his chair and looked up at me. But I don't want a divorce, Sienna. We don't have to go this far. Why not? I said with a smile on my face. Marcus, I have tolerated you for many years. The thing I regret most now is that I didn't divorce you as soon as I found out you were cheating on me. Marcus probably thought that I was still messing around with him like before and waiting for him to give in to me. He asked me, is it because of that assistant just now? Can I ask the HR department to fire her right away? After saying this, he got through to the internal line and instructed the HR department to fire the assistant. Seeing me looking at him without saying anything, Marcus asked again, is it because of that little girl from before? I have completely cut off ties with her. There is no need for you to quarrel with me because of her. Not because of anyone, I said calmly. I just simply don't want to be entangled with you anymore. I just want to divorce you, that's all. Sienna, you farted. Marcus threw the things on the table to the ground. Not because of anyone? You want to divorce me just because of that fucking bastard Adrian. He suddenly stood up and rushed towards me. Pushed me down on the sofa. Sienna, you love him? How could you love him? Who allowed you to love him? I slapped him in the face. Don't go fucking crazy with me. I pushed him away and stood up. Since you don't want to sign, let's go through the legal process. After attending an event, I didn't see the driver when I came out. I called him, and the driver said his wife was about to give birth. Excuse me, Mr. Chin, I'm on my way to the hospital now. Can I pick you up later? I told him to be careful. Stay with your wife tonight. I'll take a taxi back. As soon as I hung up the phone, Adrian's car stopped in front of me. Car, I'll take you home. On the way he asked me, would you like to eat something before going back? Okay. Now is the season for crabs, so we ordered a steamed crab. Adrian's hands are very beautiful, and his movements in peeling crab meat are smooth and flowing, which is very pleasing to the eye. I couldn't help but take a few more glances. He put the plate of crab meat in front of me. I was a little embarrassed. Thank you. I can do it myself. Adrian smiled. Did you just get your hands manicured done? I nodded. He said, it looks good. My heart skipped a beat and my cheeks suddenly felt hot. I immediately changed the subject. You said you were from the affiliated high school. Why don't I have that impression? I'm not the only one who has no impression. After I went back that day, I asked several classmates, and they all said they had no impression of it. I only studied in the first year of high school at the affiliated high school, and then my family sent me abroad. No wonder. After dinner, he took me home. Would you like to come in and sit down? I asked him. Adrian chuckled, and the look in his eyes when he looked at me was like a pool of thick ink that could not be dissolved. Do you know what your words mean to grown men and women? I blinked and turned away. I deliberately avoided looking into his teasing eyes. Guang, when you get divorced, you can let me move in with you. Forget it now. As soon as Adrian finished speaking, I heard someone calling my name from behind. It's Marcus. Why are you two together? Marcus has never been to the property where I live. I can't figure out why he suddenly came here today. Do you know what day it is today, Sienna? It's our fucking anniversary. I waited for you outside your house for a whole day, and you went out with another man. I have been married to Marcus for so many years, but he never cared about our wedding anniversary and never came home to be with me. Look at him jumping up and down in front of me now. It suddenly dawned on me. It turns out that I looked so ugly when I was quarreling with him before. Fortunately, I no longer care about him now, and I will no longer get angry and argue with him because of which woman he sleeps in tonight. I waited until he had finished his madness before I spoke. Are you done? If you are, please leave. It would be strange if Marcus just left. He reached out to pull me, but was blocked by Adrian behind me. Mr. Zhou, just talk. Don't make any moves. Marcus sneered angrily. This is my wife. You have no right to interfere. It's okay. It won't be that soon. Adrian glanced at him, expression indifferent. Adrian, are you still a fucking human? Marcus was about to take action when I stopped him. Guang, have you had enough of making trouble? Marcus, if you don't want to spend the night at the police station, please leave immediately. After all, the Qin and Zhou families are old friends, so in the end I just called the security guard to drag him out. My ears are finally quiet. I looked back at Adrian. He lowered his eyebrows and looked gloomy, like a helpless puppy who had suffered a great injustice. He no longer had the fearlessness and calmness he had just shown when facing Marcus. What's wrong? Adrian's voice also became hoarse. Just now he said you were his wife. That one sentence completely defeated me. He pulled the corners of his mouth and his smile was uglier than crying. When can I be like him and confidently tell those men who covet you that you are my wife? Adrian is very tall, and I have to stand on tiptoe to barely reach the top of his head. Rubbed it. I whispered soon. Marcus refused to sign the divorce papers. So I picked a time on the weekend to visit his parents. After explaining my and Marcus' situation to the old couple, I gave them the prepared documents. After reading the documents, Joe's father tried to keep me. Sienna, you and Marcus have been together for so many years. Why do you have to get a divorce? Our family is not like ordinary families where we can divorce easily. This involves the interests of both our families. You know how a small move can affect the whole body. I smiled, but in one's life, one has to pursue something other than money. Mom and Dad, you all know that he has someone else outside. If he doesn't agree to a divorce, I will have no choice but to go through legal procedures, and that will be embarrassing for everyone. That's why I came to you today, hoping you can persuade him. Just as he finished speaking, Marcus suddenly rushed down from upstairs. He tore up the documents I brought with me. I said I won't get a divorce. Sienna, you want to divorce me and live with Adrian? Don't even think about it. He was in a state of emotional turmoil and rushed over to grab my wrist. Guang, Sienna, are you taking revenge on me? Revenge for my cheating on you? Guang, you succeeded. Okay. I lost Sienna. I don't want to divorce you. I love you. I can't live without you. You've broken up with Adrian, and I'll stay with you from now on, okay? Let's live a good life, okay, Sienna. I pried open Marcus' fingers one by one. White is not good enough. Uncle and Aunt, please try to persuade him. If that doesn't work, I will submit the materials to the court next Monday. Joe's mother asked me, Sienna, do your parents know about the divorce? Yes, they said they respect my decision. She nodded, okay. Marcus is the one who let you down. Don't worry, I will make him sign. Marcus still refused to give up when I was about to leave. He stopped me and wouldn't let me go. Guang, Sienna, I was wrong, okay? I know I was wrong. Can you give me a chance? I shook his hand off. I gave you many chances before. Marcus, do you remember that time when you checked into a hotel with someone and she sent me a photo of you two sleeping together, and I went to find you, and you pushed me down? At that time, I had just found out that I was pregnant, and I wanted to tell you, but before I could tell you, the baby was gone. After I fell, I told you I was in pain and asked you not to leave. But you didn't even turn your head back that day. Marcus' pupil shrank sharply. I'm sorry, I don't know. He didn't stop me again. When they reached the door, Joe's mother slapped Marcus in the face. Marcus, are you still a human being? How could I give birth to someone like you? You look just like your father when he was young. His parents have always wanted to have a grandchild. Unfortunately, the child was killed by Marcus himself. When I was leaving the community, I ran into my former high school classmates. We had a lot of fun when we were in school, but we gradually lost contact. I heard from my former classmates a few days ago that you were asking about Adrian? I nodded. Well, I heard that he was also in the affiliated middle school, but I didn't have much impression, so I asked some of my former classmates. She was a little surprised to hear that. Guang, have you forgotten? Adrian and I have been junior high school classmates for 3 years. He sat behind you in the first year of high school. It's just that he was a little fat at that time, and then he suddenly went abroad. Sienna, do you remember? After hearing what she said, I seemed to have some impression. There is indeed such a person in my memory. He is fat and shy and blushes when talking to him. Guang used to be very low-key and didn't have many friends in our class. No one knew that he was from the Shin family. But he is doing well now. He has grown taller and more handsome, and he has even started his own company. Sienna, do you want his contact information? He and my husband have a partnership. I can ask my husband to get it for you. I smiled and shook my head. No, thank you. After a brief chat, I said goodbye to her. I took just 2 steps and she turned back and called me, Sienna. What's the matter? There's something else I'm not sure if I should tell you. I couldn't help but wonder. You say? Adrian and I used to be neighbors. Before he went abroad, he wrote you a love letter and asked me to give it to you, but I lost it accidentally. After that you got together with Marcus, I never mentioned this matter again. I'm sorry, Sienna. Have I caused you any trouble? I shook my head. Guang is fine. It's all over. The day I got the divorce certificate, Adrian acted as if he didn't care. But the corners of his mouth that were raised that day never fell. Have you finished reading it? Give it back to me if you're done. Adrian tilted his head to look at me, closed the divorce certificate and put it in his pocket. I wanted to take it out, but he took the opportunity to hug me. Very nice. What's so good? The weather is nice, the wind is nice, and you are nice too. He leaned over and kissed me on the forehead. You're the best. Adrian's eyes were full of tenderness. He kissed me again and again, from my forehead to my eyes, the tip of my nose, and finally lingered on my lips. A kiss as light as a dragonfly skimming the water, just a quick taste and stop. My heart was pounding, my brain went blank, and I forgot all about action for a moment, so I could only let him do whatever he wanted. Until a tear fell into my eye socket. Sienna, can I chase you now? Adrian's eyelids were moist, and his dark eyes were like black holes that could suck people in. I hooked my arms around his neck and stood on tiptoe to kiss him. Certainly.